I thought I would do an update. I'm really tired. Okay, what time is it? It's 12:34. I have been contracting since 5 today. Luckily, Chris got off work at 5 and he has tomorrow off. I was 40 weeks and 4 days today. I've been wanting to take a nap all day and I haven't. And it was a really bad day today. I'm gonna time contractions on my phone. But I also made some notes on today. Last night, I woke up to the worst throw-up burp ever on the face of the planet. And I had to chew a Tums really quick just to get the flavor out of my mouth. And then I realized I was overheating. So I got up to open some windows. And then I took my pulse and I saw that it was at 130 beats per minute. So I went in there to wake up my husband, and it went all sorts of crazy. It was up, getting a contraction again. It was up at, it would go up to 120 and then go down to like 90 and then go up to like 112 and then go down to like 95. It was all over the place. And eventually I just decided to go back to sleep, and then I was able to wake up in the morning, and I was basically sore from head to toe. My legs were cramped up, my hips hurt. During the night I had pulled both of my round ligaments, so I was hurting from that. My back was hurting, my stomach was hurting. I was sick to my stomach. I got up and I could tell emotionally I was off. So I was just real grumpy and just really irritable and mad at everything, and my poor daughter got the brunt of it. And eventually I had to put myself in a mommy timeout. Went in my room, closed the door, and cried because I was just so miserable. And had my time, and then I wanted to apologize to my daughter, so I got up and I went and tried to talk to her and apologize to her and tell her I wasn't feeling good and let her know I didn't mean, to get mad at her for no reason. And I just started crying and crying and crying and sobbing, and she was pretty concerned. She's 3.5, and she said, "What's wrong?" And I had told her I didn't feel good, and she said, "I take care of you." And she's like, "Oh, I'll bring you animal." And so she brought me a stuffed animal, and then she said, "I'll bring you blankets." So she went and brought me a blanket, and it was what I was supposed to snuggle with. And so that made me feel better, made me cry more. So just real weepy and sappy and crying, and so I was able to compose myself. And then my friend wanted to go to a Cinco de Mayo carnival, so we went and did that. I figured it would be good to get out of the house and with some friends and hang out. I ended up getting really hot because I ran out of water to drink, so I had to go get more water, and I started getting pretty dizzy. But I drank that water and I was feeling okay. Then I came home. My daughter got in trouble again. We went straight to bed to take a nap, and she passed out. Well, she was obviously pretty tired. I tried to lay down to take a nap too, and I was overheating and my heart was beating fast, and I was having anxiety attacks about the move because we're supposed to be out by technically today at 2. So Sunday at 2 is when we're supposed to be out, and we're still here. We're packing up everything, and And so I was nervous about that. I was nervous just about everything, and had a lot on my mind, and then I started getting real nauseous. So finally I got up and got myself some water, came in here, sat down on where we used to have a computer. Right there is where the computer used to be. Got it all packed up. Came and sat down, watched some videos, drank my water, and I started feeling better. So I think it was a lack of water, and my heart rate got up to 130 again, because I was overheating so much. But I drank really cold water, cooled down, turned the fan on and everything. That helped. I was feeling so bad that I had my friend Shane come over. He's the one that's supposed to watch my daughter when I go into the hospital. And I wasn't thinking I needed to go in the hospital. I was just thinking I don't feel stable enough to watch my daughter. So I had him come over just to kind of talk to me and keep me company and stuff like that. Getting another contraction. And these contractions hurt my back. That's my only complaint. And then, that's what happened. So I was really nauseous. Like, I needed to drink that water quick or I was gonna have to run to the bathroom. So, really nauseous. Drank my water and I calmed down. I was watching videos. All of a sudden, I got this craving, like, super intense. Like, I had to stop everything I was doing, and it was a craving for cinnamon toast. So I literally stopped everything I was doing. I had to have it now. Like, 5 minutes ago was not enough time. I mean, I had to go and make it now. So we only have a toaster that has the 2 little slots in it, so I made 2 pieces, and then they came out and I got them all ready. I was eating those and I made 2 more, and by the time those came out I was eating those, and then my daughter woke up because she heard her Uncle Shane over, so she wanted a piece. So I made her a couple pieces, and then Shane wanted a piece. I made him a couple pieces. I think I ended up having 7 or 8 total. I started losing count at like 6. Anyway, so like 8 pieces of cinnamon toast, and I was still wanting more after that. I was still hungry, but I just had to stop. So that was interesting. And then everybody on my Facebook was saying cinnamon can be one of those herbs that induces labor or something like that. Or like my body was needing cinnamon or something. Or somebody said I needed the carbs for labor or something like that. So anyways, I thought that was interesting. While I was eating those pieces of toast, I started getting contractions. But I've had false labor so many times. It's like, whatever. So I just played it off. Well, after about 3 hours, I was still getting contractions, and so I'm like, okay, so just like no big deal, whatever. And then, so Shane ended up leaving, and he went for his walk and stuff like that, and then like I said, we're moving, so me and my husband, he decided he wanted to eat out, so I went with him in a separate car over to the storage room to take our load over there. On the way over to the storage room, I got a contraction that was a definite start to it, some pretty significant pain while I was driving, and after it was over, I felt like $1 million, like I could breathe again. I was like, okay, so and that was like 3 hours after I had been contracting, so I was like, So that's when I started calling my friend Shane, and I was like, you might want to pack a bag and get ready to maybe come over tonight. I might need you. Well, they kept coming. The contractions kept coming pretty good. I would say I got 3 of them in maybe a 20-minute time span. It got to the point where I told my husband, we can go eat dinner, but we need to hurry and eat dinner. I was really nauseous. I was so sick and feeling like it wasn't a diarrhea feeling. It was like I was gonna throw up. Like I didn't want to go anywhere without water, because that was kind of how I made it from point A to point B. So we hurried. We decided to go to Waffle House because it sounded good to me. I told him I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to eat because I was sick, but I thought it would fade by the time we got there. Well, we got there, and they were pretty intense. Nah, okay, maybe not intense. They were definitely noticeable. And I was timing them there, and they seemed to be 4 minutes apart, and I started kind of tripping out a little bit. I'm like, okay, they're less than 5 minutes apart. We might have to leave from dinner early. So he shoved down his food. So the poor guy. I ordered biscuits and gravy, just one biscuit, like one biscuit cut in half, and gravy, and I didn't even lift up my fork to eat it. I could not even hardly look at it. All I wanted was water, so all I was sipping on was water. And then he ate really quick, so we were out of there pretty quick. And I went ahead and called Shane and told him to come over to the house and meet us there, because my thought was we were going to come home from dinner and have to go to the hospital. So he came over. I was not looking forward to driving home. So my husband followed me home, and I tried not to speed, but I probably went 5 to 10 miles over on the way home. But anyway, so my plan was to come home, see if I can get in the shower. Oh, getting another contraction. I don't like these that make my back hurt really bad. Ouch. It wouldn't be so bad if they weren't so painful on my back. I probably need to move because I'm like reclining in a chair. It just feels like all of a sudden my back just gets this really bad Charlie horse in it. So I decided to take a shower. And then that felt okay. And my husband started packing up the house a lot, because if somebody needs to come in and pack it for us, like if he's in the hospital tomorrow, then he needs to be able to tell people where to go and what to do. So he made like a section over there that's ready to go, and some boxes ready and stuff like that. We've got pretty much everything ready to go. So then I had to give my daughter a bath because she was outside in the sun all day and the dirt and everything. So I went ahead and gave her a bath. Then I came to sit down, and after I gave her the bath, and I wanted to time the contractions because I kept getting this weird feeling that I needed to go poop every time I got a contraction. And I don't remember feeling that with my first one. Of course, my first one I was induced, so I just don't remember. I was fairly certain that it wasn't like the urge to push or anything, but I didn't know what it was. So my thought was that it had to do with maybe the baby was moving down into the birth canal or something, and it was pushing on me, making me feel like I needed to go to the bathroom, because it got really bad during a contraction. So I let's see. Oh, I went to time the contractions and they were kind of fading off. I had maybe one every 20 minutes, something like that. So I was getting kind of frustrated and kind of bummed out. I had my mom and my sister and my friend telling me that I needed to call the doctor. So I went ahead and called her, and she called me back, and I let her know what was going on, and she said that by the sounds of it, she said that she thinks I'm in early labor, and the feeling of needing to go to the bathroom, she said, is the baby moving down. And she said the baby's head is probably pushing on my rectum, and she said every time I have a contraction the baby moves down further, so that's why it hurts more during a contraction. So I'm like, oh, okay, well that's promising. She said that during early labor that things can taper off and then they end up kicking back on. She said it's early enough in labor that my uterus probably is just trying to figure out what to do, trying to figure things out. And she said that she suspects probably tonight or sometime in the morning I will actually go into labor, and she said that I don't need to come in unless my water has broken. If my water breaks, I need to come in, or if the contractions get really intense and they like when they were 4 minutes apart, they weren't intense, so I wasn't worried about it. She said that was the right decision, because she said if I can talk through them, walk through them, drive a car, she's like, it's not enough to push a baby out. So she said it's fine to stay at home. So but yeah, she said things will probably start to pick up again. But anyway, I wanted to make a vlog about the entire day, about how crappy I felt all day, but I felt too crappy to do it. Well, now it's almost 1 in the morning, and I wanted to give a labor and delivery update, but anyway, so I have everybody on guard and they're basically sleeping. I have, poor guy, he's on the floor sleeping, and my husband is in bed. I finally got him to go to bed at like midnight, so he's in bed now. My daughter's in bed. I'm probably gonna try to go to bed and try to sleep, but we'll see. This might be a long night. Here's my belly is just not doing much. Like my holes in my shirt, isn't that great? The shirt's old, but anyway, so that's all that I have to say, an update for now. I'm gonna go try to lay down and charge up my batteries. I got my cell phone, I gotta charge, my camera, and this camera. So anyway, I will update you guys later. Bye! So another update. I went to bed last night and the things were dying off, and then the doctor said that things could pick up, but I went and slept through the night. I got woken up a couple of times because I would have a contraction. I'd be laying on my back, which hurts really, really bad. So I got over that, and then when I woke up, it felt like I had really bad gas, like really bad gas pain, gas bubbles, and I couldn't tell the difference between a contraction and a gas bubble. But I shouldn't to have that many gas bubbles was not normal. And so I had told my husband, I said, I'm just going to start timing anytime I get pain. So I started timing, and I would get pain that would last anywhere from 40 seconds to 55 seconds long, and that pain would be about every 4 minutes and 45 seconds to 5 minutes apart. So I decided to call up my doctor, and I told her about it, and she said to go ahead and pack a bag and come on in. And I told her that there was no urgency. I didn't, like, they hurt. If I'm walking, I have to stop. If I'm talking, it hurts to talk through it. Like, I can talk through it if I have to, but I'm like, oh, okay, alright, okay, like that. So, anyway, she said to go ahead and come on in. They're gonna hook me up and see if I'm in labor. Yeah, Uncle Shane is here with Katie. Everybody's updated. I'm trying to get my daughter dressed, and I think I'm just gonna go in my wonderful shirt and my pajama shorts, just because that's comfortable, and I'm gonna change the second I get there anyway, so I think I'm just gonna go like this. Yeah, so it looks like maybe today's the day, but I will update if I can, when I can. I'm bringing this camera, I'm bringing Shane's camera, and I'm bringing my phone. All the batteries are charged and everything's ready to go. So anyway, that's about it, and I'll keep you guys updated. Bye! Okay, another pregnancy update. I'm obviously in the hospital. I've got my IV. That was not fun. It's 2:20, and I think about an hour ago they checked me, and I was having contractions 2 to 3 minutes apart. They said I was 4 centimeters dilated, so that's what's going on right now. We're just walking around. I am waiting on food to come because, like I said, it's like 2:20 and I have not eaten today. I'm a little dizzy, and people have to hold me as I walk around. I've got Hannah and Chris here. They are conversing. So yeah, I told them I wanted an epidural if I needed it, and some fentanyl is what they're gonna give me if the pain gets too much. But I think I'm doing good. Let's interview the dad.
Where's the dad? Word up.
I think that's all I'm gonna update on for now. I'll do an update again later. We'll see what happens. Howdy! Another update. They came and checked me at around 5. So that was 2 hours ago because it's just after 7. And I hadn't been progressing at all, so they decided to put me, they said I have 2 options. They said I can either go home and see what happens, or they can put me on Pitocin and help me out with that. So I elected to get on Pitocin. Since then, my contractions have gotten a lot more organized. They seem to be about 3 to 5 minutes apart. They're getting a little bit more painful. There's a good little contraction, then a little tiny contraction, and the little tiny contraction, that little tiny one hurt so much more than the big one because I was trying to talk through it and I wasn't able to focus and stuff like that. So, and if you see I'm all red right here because when I get a contraction, I rub my forehead real hard and it helps me. Okay, hold on, I got a contraction. Yeah, I had to let you go because I had a contraction, and then I went through that, and then the nurses came in and they decided I asked for my fentanyl because we had ordered food and I wanted a break while I was eating. So I have my food. Chris has his food. And when I got the fentanyl, holy moly, I am still on it. And now my contractions are just kind of like, yeah, I'm getting contractions. It's no big deal. Whatever. And they are huge. Look at that last one. Look at that. Bam. So yeah, it's all good. Okay, I'll update more later. The other thing I want to say about the fentanyl, my nose is like super itchy. Like really, really itchy. I'm getting another contraction. But they're definitely more manageable. And just like that, I'm already on the down slope of it. Yeah, and I basically just feel really drunk. Like it's wearing off. I've had it for 20 minutes and they said that I could get another dose of it in 20 minutes. So I could get another dose now if I wanted to, but I'm going to see how long it lasts and I'm going to keep going as much as I can until I can't take any more, then I'll get some more. Yeah, and they're getting closer together, so I guess I'll eat. Make my mother of a sister happy. She's gonna come smack me if I'm not careful. Okay, that's all. am shivering because I had epidural. I went and sat in the bathtub for a little while and the contractions started coming really, really fast and really hard. So I opted to get an epidural quickly. How far apart were the contractions, honey? Not now, but for the epidural.
It's every minute.
So for when I got the epidural, the contractions were like every minute. It was really, really hard to do. I waited too long to get it done. They said that I'm ready to go. I'm at 10 centimeters. So now they're getting the room set up for the baby. And I am taking this time to relax as much as I can because I just went through hell, basically. And that's it. And I guess we're gonna have a baby pretty soon. I'm excited. Okay.